President William Ruto's government has presented a 4.29 trillion shillings budget for the 2025-2026 financial year, which is equivalent to 22.3% of the country's GDP. The government plans to raise 3.3 trillion shillings through revenue collection. That is 17.2% of GDP, mainly from taxes. Mike Kagwongo looks at how the budget will be funded, even as government insists its position of not overtaxing Kenyans.
Thank you very much.
During the 2025-2026 financial year, President William Ruto's government plans to raise 3.3 trillion shillings through revenue collection, that is 17.2% of GDP, mainly from taxes. Grants from development partners are expected to bring in an additional 46.9 billion shillings. This still leaves a deficit of 923.2 billion shillings, about 4.8% of GDP.
Our focus in the financial year 2025-26 and over the medium term will be to strengthen domestic resource mobilization through the following key initiatives. First, continue with the implementation of the national tax policy and the medium-term revenue strategy to provide a consistent and predictable framework for tax administration and policy formulation.
The government is seeking new sources of funding after last year's countrywide protest forced it to pursue austerity measures and scrap planned tax hikes worth more than 346 billion Kenyan shillings. To bridge the gap, Treasury plans to borrow 287.7 billion shillings externally and 635.5 billion shillings from domestic markets. So where is all this money going?
Third, enhancing non-tax revenue collection by enabling ministries, departments and agencies to generate income through the services they provide to the public. Mr. Speaker, as part of our broader fiscal reform agenda, the government is undertaking targeted tax administrative reforms aimed at strengthening our revenue base and promoting inclusive economic growth.
Under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, or BETA, here is how some key sectors will be funded. Agriculture and food security will receive 47.6 billion shillings. Housing and urban development, 120.2 billion shillings. ICT and digital economy, 12.7 billion shillings. Health sector, 133.4 billion shillings. And governance and justice to receive 47.7 billion shillings. Among the priorities in the budget is the health sector and the housing and infrastructure. Agriculture and food security also receive a notable share, supporting the government's push to lower the cost of living and improve livelihoods. In summary, Kenya's 4.29 trillion shillings will be driven by revenue collection, partner grants and borrowing both locally and internationally, with a sharp focus on transforming the economy from grassroots.
You saw the budget itself. It is just sealing of loopholes where we've been losing taxes.
We're going to dig deeper into their pocket because, before taxes were being increased, and therefore, people were feeling it. But this time, they are not increasing taxes.
The budget is aimed to boosting revenues to service debt while avoiding tax measures that triggered the kind of deadly protest that rocked the country's economy last year. Even as President William Ruto's Kenya Kwanza believes that the 2025-2026 budget is common mwananchi's pocket-friendly, a section of Kenyans still believes that they will have to dig deeper into their pockets to finance the highest ever budget in the country. Mike Kagwongo, TV 47.